There is something so deeply enchanting about nougat, or Torrone, as it is so beautifully called in Italy. It is a confection of pure, snowy whiteness, studded with the earthy jewels of toasted nuts. Think of it, a cloud-like confection, chewy soft, melting tenderly on the tongue. It speaks of festive times, of special treats wrapped in crinkling paper. Many of us only know it from a shop, a pre-packaged sweet that, while lovely, lacks the soul of something made in one's own kitchen. But I am here to tell you, with a hand on my heart, that creating this ethereal candy at home is not only possible, but profoundly rewarding. It is a quiet kitchen project, one that asks for your gentle attention and rewards you tenfold with a taste of pure, unadulterated bliss. To embark on this sweet journey, you must first acquaint yourself with the key players. At its heart, Torrone is a simple trinity of honey, sugar, and egg whites. Honey, sugar, egg whites. The honey you choose will sing its own song in the final candy. I adore a light, floral honey like orange blossom or acacia, as its delicate perfume doesn't overwhelm. Then there are the nuts. A generous tumble of almonds and pistachios is traditional, their colors a stunning mosaic against the pale nougat. You will, I must insist, need a stand mixer for this. It is your tireless assistant, whipping and whipping until the magic happens. And a candy thermometer is non-negotiable. It is the oracle that tells you precisely when your sugars are ready. The process itself is a form of kitchen alchemy, transforming humble ingredients into something truly splendid. It isn't a 5-minute affair, I won't lie to you, but the time spent is part of its charm. It is a meditative process, watching sugar dissolve into a clear, molten liquid, seeing egg whites billow into a magnificent meringue. This isn't just about following steps. It is about engaging your senses. So, let us banish the thought that this is a confectioner's secret, a trick too complex for the home cook. It is nothing of the sort. It is an act of patience, yes, but not one of impossible skill. With our preparations complete, we can begin the beautiful ballet of making Torrone. The first step is to awaken the egg whites. Turn your stand mixer onto a medium-high speed. Let it whip the whites until they form soft peaks. You will know you have reached this stage when you lift the whisk and the peak that forms holds its shape for a moment before gently curling over on itself. It should look like a soft, snowy drift. Do not be tempted to whip them to stiff peaks just yet. They will get more of a workout very soon. Now, we must attend to our 2 syrups. Place the saucepan with the honey over a low to medium heat. Clip your candy thermometer to the side, ensuring the tip is submerged in the honey but not touching the bottom. We are gently heating it to a precise 250 degrees Celsius, 120 degrees. In your other saucepan, give it a little stir over medium heat, just until the sugar has completely dissolved. Once it has, you must stop stirring entirely. Swirl the pan gently if you need to, but stirring can encourage crystallization. Clip your second thermometer, or reuse your first after a quick, careful wash and dry, to this pan, and let the syrup bubble away until it reaches 285 to 300 degree reaps, 140, 150 degrees C. Here comes the most dramatic and crucial moment in our Torrone making. With the mixer running on a medium speed, begin to pour the hot honey into the whipped egg whites. Do this in a very slow, steady, thin stream, aiming for the space between the side of the bowl and the whisk. If you pour it directly onto the moving whisk, you will be rewarded with spun sugar all over your kitchen. Once all the honey is incorporated, your meringue will look impossibly glossy. Now, slowly and just as carefully, pour in the even hotter sugar syrup. Be incredibly cautious here. This syrup is dangerously hot. Once all the syrup has been added, it is time for the mixer to do its long, patient work. Increase the speed to high and let it whip and whip and whip. This is not a process to be rushed. You will need to let it go for at least 10 minutes, and perhaps as long as 20. You are doing 2 things here: cooling the mixture down and incorporating a huge amount of air, which transforms the texture from a sticky meringue into a thick, dense, and gloriously sticky nougat. The outside of the bowl will cool from hot to pleasantly warm, and the mixture will become so thick that the mixer motor may begin to sound like it is working hard. This is your sign that the magic is complete. When the mixer has done its marathon of whipping, you will be left with a bowl of something truly magnificent. It should be incredibly thick, brilliantly white, so glossy it shines. It will pull away from the sides of the bowl in a single heavy mass. Now is the moment to add your final flavorings. A teaspoon of pure vanilla extract adds a lovely, creamy warmth that complements the honey beautifully. Or, for a brighter note, the finely grated zest of an orange can be utterly divine. Or, the finely grated zest of a lemon. Gently stir these in on a low speed for just a few seconds. Next, we introduce our patiently waiting nuts. Retrieve them from the warm oven. Working quickly now, add them to the bowl. Remove the bowl from the stand mixer. Using a sturdy, heat-proof spatula, lightly greased with a little neutral oil, fold the warm nuts into the thick nougat. You will need a bit of muscle for this. Ensure the nuts are distributed evenly throughout the beautiful white mass. Create that gorgeous, jeweled mosaic effect. To prevent any sticky situations later, you must line it meticulously. I find the best way is to use a long sheet of parchment paper, allowing it to overhang on two opposite sides. These little handles will be your best friend. A light greasing adds insurance. Then place a sheet of edible wafer paper snugly in the bottom. Transfer the nougat to its prepared pan. Scrape every last luscious bit into the wafer paper-lined tin. Spread it out towards the corners. Place your second sheet of edible wafer paper directly on top of the nougat. Press it into place, encasing the sweet, nutty filling. To ensure perfect density, press it down firmly. An oiled offset spatula is wonderful for smoothing the surface. Alternatively, use the bottom of a measuring cup or a small glass, lightly greased. Apply firm, even pressure across the entire surface. Compact the nougat, removing air pockets and ensuring a uniform slab. Once perfectly smooth and even, your work is done. All that is left is the hardest part, the waiting. The waiting. The final stage of this process is one of pure, unadulterated patience. Your beautifully pressed slab of nougat must now be left to set. It needs to sit, undisturbed at room temperature for at least 4 hours, though I find that leaving it overnight yields the very best texture. This allows the sugars to crystallize just enough to create that perfect, soft chew, and for the flavors of the honey and nuts to meld and deepen. Whatever you do, do not be tempted to rush the process by putting it in the refrigerator. The cold, damp environment can make the Torrone weep and become unpleasantly sticky or, conversely, too brittle. It needs the gentle, dry air of your kitchen counter to become its best self. Once it has fully set, the glorious moment of unveiling arrives. Use those parchment paper handles you so cleverly created to lift the entire slab of nougat cleanly from the pan. Place it on a large cutting board. To slice it, you will need a long, heavy, sharp knife. The secret to clean, non-sticky cuts is to lightly oil the blade of your knife with a flavorless oil between each cut. This allows it to glide through the dense, chewy candy with ease. You can cut it into traditional long bars, elegant small squares, or whatever shape your heart desires. Each slice will reveal the beautiful interior, a constellation of almonds and pistachios suspended in a snowy white dream. Storing your homemade Torrone properly will ensure it stays perfect for as long as possible. Because it is sensitive to humidity, it is best to wrap each piece individually in wax paper or cellophane. This prevents them from sticking together and protects their delicate texture. Once wrapped, place the pieces in an airtight container. Kept this way at a cool room temperature, your Torrone will stay wonderfully fresh and delicious for up to 2 weeks, though I sincerely doubt it will last that long in any household I know. It is simply too irresistible. Making Torrone is more than just following a recipe. It is an exercise in patience and a lesson in the magical transformation of simple ingredients.